And that's why the whole story about the book of Revelations is about the story of Re, or Ra, the sun god. I could make a whole video about 2012, but if you paid attention to the movie, you will see they reveal the truth. A weekend is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is Venus, Saturn, and Apollo, the goddess, god, and the sun. And that's why the first thing you see in 2012 is the goddess Venus. Then the movie starts out with the view from Saturn. Then they show the reborn-again sun, Apollo, Re, or Ra. So then they show you the black octagon of death, the black umbrella, as it's pouring rain in the flood, like the flood in the Bible of Noah's Ark and of the Titanic. And that's why they show you the parting of the sea. So then they talk about eating fish, and then you'll notice a man pouring water from a bucket, which is Aquarius. And that's why Jesus told his disciples to meet the man carrying a pitcher of water and follow him into the house to which he dwelleth. Because we're talking about the new age of Aquarius, leaving the old age of Pisces and moving into the new age of Aquarius. So it's the end of an age, not the end of the world. Because on December 21st, 2012, on the winter solstice, it is the eve of 2013. So the 12 just signifies the end, like December or the hanged man.
It's 2013 that we need to be worried about.
And maybe that's why they released 2012 on the night of the black moon of death. And remember, there's only 13 black moons out of 365 days. And now let's see some proof that the Rockefellers use Dionic moon witchcraft. The Sherman Antitrust Act that broke up the Standard Oil Company began on the night of the black moon. Rockefeller Center was designated as a National Historic Landmark on December 23, 1987, night of the Black Moon of Death. And Exxon began on the night of the Black Moon. And the brother of John D. Rockefeller, William, died on the night of the Black Moon. And Senator Nelson Rockefeller died on the night of the Black Moon of Death. And the senior executive, Henry Rogers, died on the night of the Black Moon. But John D. Rockefeller died on the night of the full moon, and so did John D. Rockefeller Jr. And Rockefeller's partner, Henry Flagler, died on a full moon. And Chevron acquired Unocal on a full moon. The Rockefellers financed the Twin Towers, and I find it strange that on the night of the Black Moon, April 4th, 1973, was the ribbon-cutting ceremony. And would you believe that on the 13th day, on the 11th floor, reaching down to the 9th floor, was the World Trade Center fire of 1975. It was on the night of the Black Moon of Death. And just before 9/11, the World Trade Center bid was accepted on the month of Fools, on April 26, 2001, the night of the Black Moon of Death. And 9/11 shows the twin pillars of Jachin and Boaz in the moon phase of September 11th. Remember the film Trading Places, which is about a story of a poor fool who trades places with a rich man, which is the opposite or backwards, and it comes from Saturn, the lord of misrule, king for a day, where the fool switches places with the king. And the fool who thought he was king will later be sacrificed. Aaron Russo produced the film, and he was friends with Nick Rockefeller. And if you haven't seen the interview with Aaron Russo, I suggest you do, because he reveals a lot about what Rockefeller told him. He warned Aaron about the event of 9/11 before it happened, and he told him about microchipping the population. The fake war on terror, and soldiers looking for a man in a cave who's not even the enemy. And that's why Aaron Russo based the movie Trading Places on the Rockefellers and the World Trade Center, where the movie takes place. And they got Winthorpe from Winthrop Rockefeller. And remember, Trading Places came out in 1983. And that's why Aaron tried to warn us in his movie about what Rockefeller told him. And that's why the storyline takes place in Manhattan, New York, at the World Trade Center. And that's why the movie shows you the Twin Towers with the clock set at 9/11, combined with stock market crashes. In 1997, Bush published the Emergency Response to Terrorism. Notice the target on Tower 1. It was hit in roughly the same spot. Notice that one tower is black and one is white, exactly like the tarot card number 2, as in Tuesday, which was named after Mars, the god of war and bloodshed. And the last quarter moon phase on September 11th, 2001 shows 2 pillars, one black, one white. So ask yourself, was Aaron Russo trying to show us some symbolism with the black and white pillars? So, just like black and white are complete opposites, the movie and reality are complete opposites. Completely backwards. And only in mind control Hollywood can the fool replace the rich man. Because in the mind-controlled Hollywood film, Duke and Duke lose, and they make you think that you could win. But in reality, the Rockefellers won, and they make billions. In the 1970s, John Todd spoke about the Illuminati, witchcraft, and Satanism. And if you've never heard John Todd, I suggest you do. They condemned him to a mental institution, and then they killed him on the night of the Black Moon of Death. One of the things he talked about is that the Illuminati will always use the colors of red and blue. Which brings us back to the Chevron logo, the red and blue blood, or the red and blue pill. In a deeper perspective, we see the 2 stripes are actually 3-dimensional, which are actually 3-dimensional cubes, like 2 books of good and evil stacked upon one another. And it looks exactly like the throne of the Egyptian god of the underworld, Osiris. And the colors reveal an alchemical symbol of air and fire, because the pyramid and the truncated pyramid are the symbols of the Illuminati. And that's why the top cube is floating in the air. And between heaven and hell lies the 3rd dimension of reality. It's known as the Midgard, Middle Earth, or the Mid-El, as in the Mid-El Earth of the Lord of the Rings, which is Saturn El. It's one of the 9 worlds in Norse Germanic pagan mythology.